Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another pickup video. This time I wanted to share with you guys all the stuff I picked up around this last month and a half. I think it's been since I posted a last pickup video, not counting the comic book one. So I just wanted to share with you all the stuff I've added to the vault. I've mentioned this in other videos. I have been trying to cut down on all the stuff. But again, because it's been a month and a half, I have been able to get a large amount of stuff I wanted to share with you guys. So let's get started. First off, I wanted to share with you guys this t-shirt I got. I saw this at Walmart, and I thought it was really cool. It's a Nintendo controller that says Attic at the bottom. This is part of a t-shirt combo because my girlfriend bought one at Walmart. It has all the villains from the Super Mario Brothers series, and it says I love bad guys. So she bought that, and well, of course I saw this one and I had to pick it up so we can, you know, be a matching set. But I just really liked it, the design of the t-shirt. You know, classic NES there. So I thought that was cool and worth sharing on a video. Also, my mom saw this guy in a swap meet she went to. I have to clean him up because he's has this weird look to him. But she got me this Bart Simpson, one of those little rubber guys that are posable. It looks like a little kid painted some stuff on him. I have to clean him up, but he's in really good, cool condition. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a huge Simpson fan. Pick up anything that I can that has The Simpsons plastered on him. So my mom got me this one, and when she saw me, she gave it to me. But something else to add into the Simpsons collection. I think it goes really well with that puzzle I got. Went to a Big Lots where I picked up some other stuff, but also they started selling books at Big Lots, which I thought was weird but cool at the same time. They didn't have any. They don't have that big a selection or the best selection of books, but they did have this one. And it's The Strain. The main reason I picked this one up is because it's co-written by Guillermo del Toro, who's like one of my favorite directors. And the description that this book says is that it involves vampires. And I love Blade 2 and Chronos, so I know Guillermo del Toro knows how to handle vampires. But it also it references itself as a cross between vampires and CSI, because this epidemic of vampirism hits New York, and this team of this hazmat team has to figure out a way to contain the vampire outbreak. I thought that was very cool. I have not read it. I still have to go through this one, but the premise sounds really interesting, and it's again co-written by Guillermo del Toro. I love Guillermo del Toro movies, so I'm really interested in reading this book. This is actually part one of a trilogy, so I'm gonna have to track down, if I really like this one, which I know I will. I have to track down the other two books, but this is a first edition hardcover, so thought that was really cool. This one cost this one actually had a sticker price of $3, but yeah, really cool. A friend of mine was getting rid of some stuff because he's gonna go through this big thing, this big life-changing thing. So he's getting rid of all his stuff. Mostly, you know, he's big into paintball, so he got rid of some paintball stuff. And video games, getting rid of video games, so maybe that's a little foreshadowing for myself if things keep going well with my girlfriend. I'm not going to think about that right now. But he was selling some stuff. He had some games I already own, and I have been trying to I've actually cut down a lot on my video game spending, but I decided I would help him out by buying some stuff from him. And I would also add I would add two games that I've been looking for a while. First one I got from him is Tekken 5 for the PlayStation 2. I didn't get this one when it came out, and I've wanted to get it, but now you can only get it in the Greatest Hits edition. This is the Black Label one. But I wanted to get this one because it's a cool game. Tekken 5 is a really cool fighting game. But this version has the arcade versions of Tekken 1, 2, and 3 plus another Namco arcade game. Plus it has a story mode called Tekken The Devil Within. So I thought he gave this one to me for 60 pesos, which is like $5. So you get a lot of content on this disc, a lot of content. And again, the fighting mechanics in this version are really cool. So I picked this one up, and because it's a great price and you get a lot of content for it. So picked up Tekken 5, and I picked up from Rockstar, from my friend, The Warriors, which is a game that I've been meaning to get, but I haven't gotten around to it. And it's a fighting game following the plot from the movie The Warriors that came out in the 70s. Remember reading about this in a Game Informer issue. Thought it sounded really cool. Always meant to get it, never got around to it, but got also this one for 60 pesos. So again, I helped out a friend, and I got 2 really cool games for the collection. So thought that was cool. Everything else is going to be movies. Some movies I bought myself, some movies my girlfriend got for me. So, first off, I'm going to talk about this one. In Mexico, we have, during the 40s, the 30s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, even through the 70s, we had this very famous comedian called Cantinflas. He started out doing black and white movies. He actually started out doing circus shows. And he was really popular when movies started being made in Mexico. He started doing movies along with a lot of really great Mexican actors and comedians. But personally, I've always liked his movies the best. Oddly enough, I can get American movies for under $1, but Mexican movies are always expensive. I've never seen a Mexican movie used. And the places where they do sell the Mexican movies, they're insanely overpriced. These originally were going to be a gift, but for other reasons, I ended up having to keep them, and I'm actually glad I did, because I did get them at a good price, and they are good movies. But these were on sale at a movie store I don't buy that much from, because their stuff tends to be overpriced, but these ones, they tried to get rid of their inventory, so these were on sale. So individually, each movie was a reasonable amount of price to get them. So I bought Volume 1 of the 100 Years Celebrating Cantinflas. As with most boxes, they have 2 movies I really like and 2 movies that aren't of my favorite. But they have the first one is El Padrecito, where Cantinflas is a father trying to, basically clean up this little town. And then it has El Super Sabio, where Cantinflas is the assistant of this scientist that figured out a way to turn water into a workable fuel. But he gets killed, and everyone thinks Cantinflas has the recipe or the formula, but he's working on a recipe to make flowers last longer. So that was actually pretty cool. Then this one called A Volar Joven. Haven't seen that one. But the other one that's my favorite is El Bolero de Raquel, where he's trying to get these odd jobs to support himself and his godson. Really cool box set. Since I was there, I also picked up, again, these were meant to be a gift, but I picked up Volume 4, which had the other 2 movies that I love from Cantinflas. This one came out in the 30s, and it's called Los Tres Mosqueteros. Cantinflas helps this lady out, so she rewards him by making him part of a movie based on the 3 Musketeers. Su Excelencia. This one I really like. Cantinflas plays a senator on behalf of Mexico, but it's not called Mexico, it's called Los Cocos. And, he gets into the political intrigue, and the Russians and the Americans are trying to convince them to join their side because, his vote would topple the balance of power. So that one's really cool. That one I really, really like. And it has also El Analfabeto. Cantinflas inherits this fortune, but he can't read the message telling him that he won the fortune, so he's learning how to read while people are trying to scam him of his money. That one's okay. But by far my favorite one is El Extra. Cantinflas is working in this movie studio, and he's an extra in it, hence the name. But I really like that one because it involves movies. It's a movie about making movies, and it has all these different settings and movies that they're filming. I think that's my favorite one of his by far. I love seeing movies about making movies, and this one's really cool. Like I said, Cantinflas was one of the more famous Mexican comedians that we had, and I've always wanted to add his movies to my collection. And again, for one reason or another, I've gotten these 8 movies in these box sets, so I thought that was pretty cool. The swap meet, I picked up the DVD of Fantasia and Fantasia 2000. You got it used, so you gotta run with the risks. Unfortunately, Fantasia, the original Fantasia, doesn't work on one of my DVDs because it's a little scratched. It doesn't look that bad, but one of my DVDs doesn't read it. The other DVD reads it okay in some parts, but then it skips on certain segments. But on the PlayStation 3, it reads without skipping at all. So, that's the risk you run when buying used movies. And it's a bummer because I got this one for 10 pesos, and it has both movies. Fantasia 2000 reads well, but it's not my favorite one. The one that really hurts is Fantasia, the original one. Because it skips and everything, but the first one, amazing movie. The second one's okay, but by far the first one's the best one. At a pawn shop, they had this one. I actually know that Mystery Science Theater 3000 talked about this movie, and they said it was a bad movie. Got it for 20 pesos at a pawn shop around where my girlfriend lives. And I picked up The Corpse Vanishes, starring Bela Lugosi, made in 1942, after his Universal days. And I watched it, and I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't great, but it had interesting characters, and Bela Lugosi was cool in it. So I didn't think it was as bad as I read, but by no means a good movie nonetheless. It's black and white, and it involves this scientist that kidnaps young brides, and he steals their brain cells to inject into his old wife so she can be young again. I thought that was interesting, and again, I watched it and I liked it. But I like a lot of movies that people think are crap. Went to an expo with my girlfriend. It's an art expo that we had here in TJ, and we were looking at all the booths. And this one booth had some movies in it, but they were a little overpriced. But my girlfriend, my beautiful, wonderful girlfriend, got these 2 movies that I really wanted. They had 3 movies that I wanted, but one of them was beyond scratch, so I knew that one wasn't even going to work. But she got for me a movie that I've wanted for a long time. It's actually one of the great monster movies that I've never been able to find. I was thinking of buying it on Blu-ray when it, dropped in price, but my girlfriend got this one for me, and I love her even more for it. But she got me Jaws. She got me the original, best, greatest shark movie ever. The first Jaws. This is the Anniversary Collector's Edition. The Blu-ray is packed with more extras, of course, but this is the 25th edition, and I've always wanted Jaws. An amazing movie. I still hear the theme, and dun 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 dun, and I still think of it. Great Steven Spielberg movie. Steven Spielberg was amazing in the 70s and in the 80s. And it's the one movie that I hit. This one and E.T. are the Steven Spielberg movies I've been trying to track down a lot, so for the longest time. So great monster movie. Love Jaws. She also got for me a Tim Burton movie that I've also been trying to track down, but either I've seen it overpriced or it's just beyond scratched. But that's Sleepy Hollow. starring Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci and Christopher Walken. I like this movie. I like the style of Tim Burton. Again, I love Tim Burton movies. Some of them, there's like 3 movies I don't really particularly like of his, but this one I thought was really cool. Of course, it follows the legend of the Headless Horseman and Ichabod Crane. Really, really cool movie. I personally like this one a lot. So, my Tim Burton collection is almost complete. I'm only missing like 3 movies. This one I did buy for myself. A few days after I bought the Cantinflas collection, I decided to pick up some stuff for myself before the sale ended. And another Mexican icon that we have here is El Santo. I bought volume 1 of that 3-movie box set, and they had this one. This is actually volume 3 of El Santo collection. It has El Hacha Diabólica. It has Santo contra los Hombres Infernales. And it has Santo against La Llorona, which is a big myth here that we have in Mexico. I like the Santo movies. They get kind of cheesy and kind of ridiculous sometimes, but I like the Santo movies. I'm missing the main ones. The best Santo movies are Santo contra las Momias y Santo contra las Mujeres Vampiro. But that's in another box set that I've never seen that one on sale. But these 3 movies, 2 of them I've seen. I think they're cool. The other one I've actually never seen it, but I got this one. Also got season 5 of The Big Bang Theory. This had a price reduction, but they also had the sale going on, so I got this for $10. It's the Blu-ray of season 5 of The Big Bang Theory. It's in Spanish. It's good thing is that it's region 1 and 4, so that won't be a problem for my PlayStation 3. But I love The Big Bang Theory, even though this show is the reason why Comic-Con is so crazy nowadays. But love the characters, how they evolve in this season. You know, Howard and Bernadette, and how Penny and Leonard are starting their relationship again. And Sheldon and Amy. Amy really evolves a lot in this season. And, of course, the last episode of the season is when Howard and Bernadette get married and Howard goes into space. So, great. I got it again for $10 because they had a price reduction plus a 50% sale. $10 blew my mind. Love The Big Bang Theory. At a swap meet I got, this is one of the classic 80s movies I've been trying to track down. But I got Fast Times at Ridgemont High with a very young Sean Penn, a very young Nicolas Cage. Best scene, Judge Reinhold is also in it. Personally, my favorite scene, I think it's the scene a lot of people remember from this one, is that pool scene with Phoebe Cates. I had a huge crush on Phoebe Cates in this one, because of this one and because of Gremlins. Phoebe Cates was hot in the 80s, but it's a really cool teenage movie from the 80s. I'm only missing Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and my 80s collection will be perfect in my eyes. Also picked this one up because of my girlfriend, because she really likes the book, and she's mentioned it. But I picked up the TV series of Pride and Prejudice, starring Colin Firth, who won an Oscar for The King's Speech. Turns out my girlfriend already has this one, so I'm gonna keep it. But again, she's a big fan, so you know, if we do get together now, we'll have a few copies of it. But yeah, I picked it up for her. She already have it. Went to Big Lots with my girlfriend, and where I got the Guillermo del Toro book. And I picked up 2 movies that, again, Big Lots sometimes doesn't have anything. Sometimes they have this shipment of awesomeness. But they had A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. This is where the Nightmare on Elm Street series kind of getting goofy. But still, now I'm only missing New Nightmare, and I'll have all of the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. Because they also had Part 6, Freddy's Dead. This one, of course, is the more ridiculous one of the movies, and this one was done in 3D, but this version isn't in 3D. But so yeah, now I'm only missing a New Nightmare, and of course the remake, and I'll have every single Nightmare on Elm Street movie So yeah, I thought it was cool. Walmart had a big sale on Blu-rays. They had this whole bin of Blu-rays on sale for $7.88. I was looking through the bin, and they had a bunch of wrestling Blu-rays, a whole bunch of them. For the last like 3 years, they had a whole bunch of Royal Rumbles. They had a whole bunch of SummerSlams. They had Hell in the Cells, Elimination Chambers. So I got like at least 20, but I didn't have that much money, so I kept digging and digging, and I found one, the best one that the bin had, and that's WrestleMania 26. This WrestleMania was pretty cool because it's the one where The Undertaker retires Shawn Michaels. It has John Cena versus Batista. It had Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk. And it had Edge versus Chris Jericho. That one was okay. I'm actually trying to get as many WrestleManias as I can because WrestleMania is the best event in WWE. It's where they pull out all the stops and everything. It's bigger. I'm still missing a lot of them, but I do want to track down 27, 28, and 23, and I'll complete my WrestleMania collection. But for $8.50, I think I got with taxes. Getting a WrestleMania on Blu-ray, I thought was amazing. So I gotta go back to that Walmart and pick up some more stuff. Went to the $5 bins for DVDs, and I was able to finally get John Carpenter's The Thing. I've been looking everywhere for this movie. I've never been able to find it. This is the collector's edition. It has a whole bunch of really cool special features. Finally, my John Carpenter collection is complete. One of the best remakes ever done, along with many that I've mentioned on my remake collection video, and it's the main one that I was missing. But now I have The Thing, and I am super happy. Got it at Walmart for $5. Picked up Joss Whedon's Serenity. Now my Firefly collection is complete because this is the movie that ends the story of the Serenity, and with Summer Glau's character. A great movie. It has this really cool metallic foil that I think looks awesome. A great science fiction movie. A great TV show. I'm so glad they were able to give it a proper ending, so this is awesome. Then went to Target and picked up Army of Darkness. This is the Screwhead edition. The Boomstick edition is actually the better one. That's a 2-disc, but this was the last copy that they had. Walmart didn't have it anymore, and I need to get Evil Dead 1 and 2. But now I have the Screwhead edition of Army of Darkness, and I really like Army of Darkness. I don't know why I haven't bought the trilogy yet, but so happy to get this one. So cool. And the last movies I picked up at a swap meet, I picked up Friday After Next. This is the third movie in the Friday series. Never been able to find Friday or Next Friday. But I've seen it a couple times. Not this one. I haven't seen the third one, but I saw the first one and I thought it was cool. So I need to get this trilogy. And the last movie I picked up is Meet Joe Black with Anthony Hopkins and Brad Pitt. Thought this was an interesting idea that death inhabits this body and he wants to live along humans, and that's when he meets the Anthony Hopkins character. I think this came out right after Interview with a Vampire, so Brad Pitt has this whole disconnected, he's still, channeling Louis. But I thought it was an interesting movie. I liked the concept. So yeah, thought this was worth a pickup. But that was the collection pickup video. Like I said, a lot of movies. Got a whole bunch of movies this last month and a half. Like always, I like to make a recommendation, so I'm going to go with 3 of them this time around. I'm going to go with The Big Bang Theory. If you're not watching it and you're a geek, what the hell are you doing? Watch The Big Bang Theory. I love this show, even though, again, it's the reason why Comic-Con has gotten so crazy, because The Big Bang Theory has given a lot of attention to the geek culture. So, love the show, even though I hate the fact that it's responsible for Comic-Con being crazy. Gonna go with Jaws. Awesome classic. love the fact that my girlfriend got it for me, and love the fact that I now have this in my collection. And I'm gonna go with, if you can find it subtitled in English, gonna go with El Extra. If you like movies and you like movies about movies, give this one a chance. It's funny, it's heartwarming at certain points, and again, it has Cantinflas just running havoc on movie sets, so I thought that was cool. So that's gonna be my Mexican recommendation of the video. So yeah, that was the video again. Thanks to anyone that watched them. If you have a recommendation or you want to leave a comment, please do so. I would like some feedback from you guys. But until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78 signing off.